His question was about the unincorporated area. In 1957, by passage of the ballot, metropolitan county was created. And the vision at the time was for this area to lead the way in the country, to bring about a more centralized, less duplicative kind of government to deal with all the local needs. And the dream at that time was to not to increase the number of cities, but to rather decrease the number of cities, and maybe someday to have one government. And there were many areas of the country that looked at what we were doing and copied it and actually achieved it. The city of Indianapolis merged itself into Marion County and has an enormously successful local government there that does attract leadership, and the community looks to it for that leadership. I don't know that the times have changed, and I think there's no question that we have communities in Dade County that need specialized representation. And so maybe some form of hybrid, something that really has to be thought through and looked at. As far as the unincorporated area, I think that's proliferating more and more duplication. I can't get away from my own thinking on that we sort of went in the wrong direction. But it's been in the global water supply, the sense of independence that people want to have their own government that they can touch and reach, their own local mayor, their own local officials that they can knock on their door or see them at Publix or be involved in that way. But that's not very economic, and it doesn't really allow for the bringing together, synergizing again of the resources of the community to get the biggest bang for the buck.
Last thing, Jackson Rural Hospital, if it was taken out of the control of the county and run separately from the county, I think it will survive.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hertz. Look, last question here, and then any final comments our panelists want to make.
Hi, I'm Amy Carswell. How are you? I know
Speak into the mic.
some of you know me and some of you don't. My name's Amy Carswell. I heard about leadership, I heard about jobs, I heard about opportunity. On yesterday, the Board of County Commissioners considered a proposal to create a local preference for people who are currently unemployed in this community to be interviewed first for jobs that are paid for by the county through county contracts. That effort failed. I'm wondering, where is the leadership? Where is the priority? Where is the direction, vision for the future of our community? It's not just the African American community that's unemployed. There are unemployed pockets of individuals throughout Miami-Dade County. When we attempt to, or some of the current leaders attempt to create opportunities, there is no support from the long-time established leadership. The Miami Herald, the Business Review, no one covered this story. The County Commission spent an hour and a half debating this story yesterday. I'm sorry, I get a little upset, but it's frustrating that we talk about vision when we need to get up off our tushes and get to work. Thank you. And that's a question.
I just want to say one thing. Maybe when you said the Miami Business Review, you sort of postured to my friend. I just want to say, thank God we have Miami today. Because what I said about the Miami Herald, the Herald seems to focus all of its local coverage on controversy. That's their decision, it's their business, but there are a lot of good stories, a lot of things happening in this community. The public needs to know, and if they know, it will actually affect the overall public awareness level and maybe even the happiness level in the community. When we only see negative, when we only see controversy in the media, well, it gives us the feeling that that's the true story, and that's all that's happening in the community. So if you want to learn about local news, controversial stuff included, but also the stuff that's positive, the stuff that comes out and doesn't seem to catch fire in the daily newspaper, you'll find it in Miami today. appreciate them very, very much for doing that, and I think it's a tremendous contribution to the community.
Anything that you guys want to add? Bill, take that microphone. Things that need to be addressed, and just to have everybody have the last say, if you want to say, something that we need that we don't have in Miami. That we like.
Well, I think his leadership is
Okay.
clearly one. I don't know if it's endemic to just our community, maybe it's a transient, or is it endemic to the U.S.? But clearly his leadership and focusing on where we're going, and not just the herding of the cats.
So where do we find Annette Eisenberg's and Sheila Zemsky's? Where do we get all that?
I think, Sean, you mentioned it. There's a desperate need for the young folks to start, and we try and, we're a little older now, and not necessarily wiser, but I think it's incumbent upon all of us, older folks, to groom the next leadership. And they're hungry to have role models, and they're brighter than we